So I'm going to tell you a story, and I muted it. I may have said something about this before, but I don't think I went into detail. And I don't know exactly what time, but it was in the early hours of the morning. A figure appeared at the door, and the dogs started howling. You can hear them now, look, or listen. It wasn't the guy who was drunk and got bitten by his dog standing at his mosquito screen of a door with a knife. Hi guys, welcome back. This is Alpha Omega Occasionally. And if I sound a bit different, my voice I mean, that's because Harry very kindly shared with me his virus. Yep. It happened when I brought him to the hospital the other day. I think when he vomited over my phone, and I wiped it clean with a baby wiper, a moist cloth, and I put alcohol on it, but obviously it wasn't enough. But I'm not too bad. It's been a mild case. And although I still feel about 5% out to lunch, it's not the end of the world. But unfortunately, there'll be no gin this weekend, because the last thing I want to do is feel the effects of gin on top of this. You know what I mean? Any alcohol at all. But you see, it's times like this that I really, really appreciate being in a place like this. Being in a place like this is a release for me. A complete and utter release. I mean, it goes without saying. We only come up here at weekends, and that's what preserves the novelty value of this place. If we were living here all the time, you might get a bit long in the tooth. But I can tell you, there's an Italian guy living right next door to me here, on his own. And he's got 3 dogs, and he lives on his own. And I don't inquire to him as to how he keeps body and soul together, and he doesn't necessarily inquire to me, but we do converse from time to time. My Italian is on the floor, so we converse in English. And 2 houses down from him is an English guy who sells pizza. I can show you this if you want. So without intruding on privacy, I'm just standing out on the public road, but that's the Italian guy's house behind me. Very, very nice fella, but I don't know if I'd be able to do what he does. In other words, live on your own in a place like this, because this is a very, very remote place after dark. Okay, we're only 10 minutes from, well, more like 15 minutes from Rangsett. Probably a little bit more, but let's say 15 minutes from Rangsett. But the road, as you can see behind me, so that's the main road up there. And if you go up there and turn left, you're never too far away from civilization. But on this road at night, you might as well be in the middle of nowhere. So what would you be doing? And I always think, when I think of people like him living alone in rural Thailand, it's very unusual. And imagine waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning on your own in rural Thailand. I don't know if I could do it. So this is the house of the English guy. He's blocked up his gate. I don't think he's there anymore. Well, he actually is. The house is lived in. But there used to be a sign on that pillar saying pizza. He between himself and his Thai wife, they would make pizza, and she'd sell it in the market. But he's not there. Well, I mean, the pizza sign isn't there anymore. He's with his wife, so therefore I can understand how you can survive in a place like this. But solo, I don't know how you could do that. So we're literally at the next house down the street or down the road, and this is the elder of the village. When I say village, I mean of the town land that stretches along this road. That camera's lopsided. There's very little I can do to make it not lopsided. You think I could? Hang on. So, yeah, the town or the village elder. He's one of the. You've seen him on my videos before. His name is, what's his name? Kunjup. And he's older than me, but he's got the body of a 20-year-old. He's like, what is it? Adams, what's his name? Adams of the Wilderness, whatever it was, some show. He's one of these guys, like Davy Crockett. That's what he's like. But he's in his hammock there behind me. I'm not going to intrude. He's lying in his hammock. So I'm going to tell you a story. And I muted it. I may have said something about this before, but I don't think I went into detail. The aforementioned Italian guy has cause to go back to Italy from time to time for business reasons. And while he was away, he'd left his dogs to their own devices. And I think the locals were feeding the dogs and looking after it. He had an arrangement. I think he was gone for about a week or two, I don't know. But one particular night, during the early hours of the morning, a local guy who lives down there, was coming home drunk. And he got to a roundabout outside the Italian guy's house. And he was bitten by one of his dogs. That's par for the course here. Anyway, the Italian guy comes home. And I don't know if he was informed about this episode or not, because he told me himself what had happened. But shortly after the Italian guy came home, he was in deep slumber on his premises, in his bedroom. And at, I don't know exactly what time, but it was in the early hours of the morning, a figure appeared at the door. And the dogs started howling. You can hear them now, look, or listen. The dogs started howling. I'm going to have to get out of the way. There's a van coming up the road. Hang on. Anyway, just get out of the way. There's a van coming down. There he is there. Taking a good look at me. Don't know what he's at. Anyway, I'm always something of note when I have my camera up and about around here. So, the dog started howling and the Italian guy woke up. It wasn't the guy who was drunk and got bitten by his dog standing at his mosquito screen of a door with a knife. How would you like to wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning with some local Thai in a place like as rural as this with a knife? Anyway, the Italian guy told him in no uncertain terms, he's a big fella, go and sling your hook. I won't go into the exact colourful language he used, but he was pretty vocal about it. And the Thai guy ran off with his tail between his legs. It was this guy behind us, the town elder. This episode was brought to his attention. And the village elder was the one that chaired negotiations, let's say, and got the Thai guy to apologise to the Italian guy. Rural Thailand, lads. It's not just the loneliness you have to put up with, or you have to adjust to. You've got to be very careful how you interact with the locals. You've got to be very mindful of what you do. That's an abandoned house. Do you want to have a look? So that's an abandoned house behind me. It's been ransacked because we've been here before on this channel. I actually demonstrated my dog deterrent high-pitched thing. He's moving. This is the town elder. He got out of his hammock there. Anyway, I was demonstrating my dog deterrent high-frequency thing here, a good few months ago. But that concrete, they're made of concrete, those benches. I mean, this bench here, that's made of concrete with tiles. There's actually coin there. But there's a trough there. Let's have a closer look. So here we are. We'll open the door. Now I haven't got a light with me, but we'll actually go into the room and I'll take off the filter off the camera so we can see. So now we're in the room of a typical Thai rural house. Look on the floor there. You can see that's bedding. So someone has been sleeping here. And there's droppings all over the floor. No air conditioning. And it doesn't look like there ever has been. No, there never has been. There's no air conditioning. There's another room just in there. Hang on, let's just open the shutter here. I'm not going in, but we just have a look. Actually, the shutter is open. So you can see there. Not much, nothing there, no furniture. Can you imagine living in a place like this? I better get out of here because I know there's snakes and all kinds of things that lurk in places like this. There's the main door there. I think I'll go out the main door, look. I'll go out that way. I'll put the filter back on the camera because it'll be a complete whitewash if I don't. Guys, I just need to interrupt the video very, very briefly, and that's to thank each and every one of you for your support throughout the year. And I want to wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. By the way, this is not our last video before Christmas, so you'll probably hear me say that again. But I'll tell you something I always do say. I always thank each and every one of you for helping me on Buy Me a Coffee. There's our most recent supporters. Thank you so much indeed, lads. If you want to do the same, you can scan the QR or click the link below to buy me a coffee. I really appreciate it. Anyway, let's get back to the video. So, as the sun sets in Tlongwang, Pontutini, there's a peacefulness that surrounds us here. But remember, I've got the added comfort of sleeping with my wife and son tonight, unlike that Italian fella. And there's so much that I don't know about this place. I didn't even know there was a town elder until that Italian fella told me about his thing. There's more houses down there. I mean, if this goes all the way down there to paddy fields, all the way down there. I won't walk down because there are dogs down there. I was chased once on my bicycle, I had a bicycle, and I got halfway down there and the dogs came after me, about 3 or 4 of them. The adrenaline took over and I managed to out-pedal them. But I remember I could sense their teeth and their frothing mouths as they chased me. And that demonstrates the danger of street dogs. That happened to that Thai guy coming home drunk, you see. And then he took exception to the Farang owning the dogs and not taking care. But I see dogs, if I even flip the camera, you won't even see it. But all the way up there, it's hard to see because the sun is directly in, but all the way up there, there's street dogs just sitting at the top of the road. And they're not really street dogs. What they are is they belong to all the people that live in this road are her relatives. This actual street is named after her mother's family name. I don't know what it is because I don't know her mother's first name. I don't know her mother's family name. There's the Italian fella gone off there now in his car. I don't know what he's doing. He's going off somewhere. I'll maintain his privacy. But yeah, all the whole street is her relatives, her extended family. So I've had to record this a little bit later because the next part, well, the part that was supposed to follow on from that last part, the camera went out of focus. And if you're wondering why I'm holding this on a chopstick, or is it a skewer? It's a chopstick. Is because the acoustics here are absolutely terrible, and to get the best sound, I've got to hold it close enough to my mouth. But yeah, the street is named after her family, but that doesn't mean that I get any kind of friendship or any kind of sense of belonging, because they never talk to me. And that is I mean, I said it before, that adds to my sense of isolation. But imagine how isolated the Italian fella feels. But anyway, at least I have me wife to talk to. I've someone to converse with. But if I didn't have that someone to converse with, I go off my rocker. By the way, I don't converse with my wife that much. I've told you that before. Or rather, she doesn't converse with me. Although there's free coconuts. That tree is full of, I don't know if you can see it, full of coconuts. There's coconuts everywhere there. I don't wonder who owns them. A lot of wasteland. Got to be careful. So the sun is very strong. It's setting over there now, and I'm right in the thick of it here. But there is a lot of derelict, I won't say derelict, overgrown sites. And I presume that means something's for sale. That's in the new Thai, simplified Thai, although I find the older Thai easier to read. I don't read it completely, but I can recognise some of the characters in the old style Thai, but not in the new style. When they try to make it look Latin script with the S, it looks like an S, it's not an S, and that's meant to be a U, it's not a U, that's meant to look like an N, but it's not an N. You know what I mean? Obviously something is for sale. My God, it's late in the evening and I'm hot. You see, I said at the outset that I still have the virus that Harry had, but I find if I lie down too much, I get up and I feel out to lunch. But if I take a little bit if I get into action a little bit, not exercise as such, but get doing something like this, I begin to feel a bit normal again. God, I wish I could have a gin tonight. I could if I wanted to, but I'm not going to risk it because I know what that will do if you're not 100%. The next day, you just put yourself back a couple of days. But could you live? Could you? I mean, I said this about Zuckenbit. Could you live there? I'd say it about Pattaya. Could you live there? Could you live here alone? Could you live here alone? And what would you do for the floozies? You see? By the way, I'm sure you could if you wanted to. If you're living alone, it wouldn't be any hassle bringing one up here. But it would be unusual. And there's no bars here as such. But who needs bars when you have gin? Now there's a vehicle. There's someone down there doing something. Probably on private property. But the Thais are great for innovation. That's a homemade thing. It's a homemade thing. I'd love to have a closer look at it. Let's try. There you go. It's a homemade tractor kind of thing. Of course, the bloody dogs. Jesus, you're never far away from them. Get out of here. Tread carefully for snakes. I can tell you that for nothing, lads. I've seen enough of them up here. There they are, there they are, there they are, there they are. There's the Italian guy's dogs. Now, they're the ones that bit the Thai guy. Look, they're at me now. They're making their way. Look, look. Jesus, now I've got to cross their path to get back to where I'm going. Let's do this. We record this. Try to be friendly, try to be friendly. Don't look nervous. That black one I'd be wary of. Yeah, they are. I told you, 3 dogs. Hello. There you go. I like pizza too. Okay, let's get back into the hacienda. So we're back in the sanctuary of this place. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I got very lucky when I met my wife, that's for sure. I mean, look what I got. Look what I got. It's just her family I can't stand. But you see, there's a lot of guys that would say the same thing, you know. We reconvene in a few seconds. By the wonders of modern technology, it's the next day. And I woke up about 2:30 in the morning because I went to bed pretty early. I was asleep by, unusual for me, I was asleep by about 9:30. And I can only get about maximum 6 hours sleep a night. I could never do more than that for my entire life. Give or take, with the odd exception. But I woke up about 2:30 and I looked out the bedroom window, which is over there. And I was overcome with melancholy. Well, I know that's an archaic kind of word to use, but I was overcome with a feeling of isolation and vulnerableness. And how I really don't think I could live in a place like this on my own. It just doesn't do it for me. I heard the clank of bottles from the Italian fella's house. Maybe that's how he does it. He has a few bottles to help him out. I'm going to get the key to the door. I'm going to walk up the road and see what we can see. When I say open the door, I mean open the gate. I'm getting as bad as a Thai. The Thais don't have a word to differentiate a gate from a door. It's just a pradu or pradu. Anyway, let's open this pradu and see what we can do.
Good morning, Dave.
Good morning, how are you?
Not bad. What about you?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Very good.
Just had a bit of a virus, so don't come too close.
Okay.
No, it's okay, but I'm over it now. It's kind of...
Intestinal or your virus is a flu or intestinal?
No, Harry had a virus last week,
Okay.
and he passed it on to me. And I didn't go to the hospital. I brought him to the hospital,
Okay.
and they said it was influenza B. So I wasn't too sick with it. Just, I'm still on my feet, still working away, but my head is a bit, full of
Dizzy
mucus.
or- yes.
A little bit. Okay, but I won't pass it on to you. Okay.
Now all of you feel better, yes.
Yeah, I feel about 95% better. Yeah, it's not too bad. Not too bad. Okay.
See you.
See you later. See you later. That was my neighbour. And I did warn him that I have been suffering from influenza B. How do I know it's influenza B? Because Harry had it and he went to the hospital and they told him it was influenza B, and presumably he passed it on to me. That's what happens with influenza B. Anyway, he doesn't care. He walks up that road and the dogs are up there. Have a look. There he goes off into the distance. Pausing. I don't think he's pausing because of the fear of a dog attack. Just pausing. Here's someone coming up on a bike. There's more dogs down there as well. You hear it? Do you hear it? You can hear it. God almighty. I see at least 3 down there. They're very far away, so the camera wouldn't pick them up. But I hear them up there as well. I think because he got bitten before, actually. He actually got bitten before himself. And I think now they know him. They know the taste of him. There's a dog there. Look, there's a white one. Look. Ignores him. Ignores him. More than I would do. Because this, as I said before, that's one of the things that really, really curtails my life in this part of Thailand, or any part of Thailand. Well, this part of Thailand particularly, is the bloody dogs. I don't know. Anyway, it's a Sunday morning. I wake up in Tlonglawong, Pontutini, but I will retire for the evening in Bangkok. And more dogs. Jesus Christ. Why do Thais just put up with it? Look at that. I'm going to go up there. Dogs aren't going to rule my life. Now, this dog we're going up to confront. Well, I won't say confront, but this dog we're going to meet ignored the Italian guy completely. Obviously because he knows him. But I dare say he won't ignore me completely because he doesn't know me. But let's have a closer look at him and let's see what his reaction is. I'm feeling fairly brave because I've got a tripod, and he'll get the fucking tripod in the face if he doesn't behave himself. Look, there he is there. That's his owner. He's playful with he's playful with the owner, but he wouldn't be playful with me. I'm going to walk up and let's see what happens. There he is there. I just realised I didn't bring my tripod. I want him to get a look at me. There he is, looking at me. Now, if I look suspicious, it'll probably alert him, but he didn't do it. He didn't react. How I'd love just to take a walk along this street, along this country, this beautiful country lane, without having the fear of bloody street dogs. Everywhere you go, they're there. Let's venture down this way. Oh, dear God, it's good to get exercise in the morning. It really is. Sorry, but the sun is extremely bright. This is for the keen-eyed amongst you, this is the 15 by 45 millimeter lens. It's not the wide angle one. The wide angle is 11 to 22. That's the one I was using for the first part of this video. Yeah, he's gone. There's dogs down there, but they've left the scene. They've left the scene. There's a lot of activity at this hour of the morning. It's 7:30. Thais get up early. They get up early and do their thing before it gets too hot. Because it's not that hot. It's only about 20, I don't know, 28, 25, 26, 20, something like that. There's the tractor we were looking at yesterday. Look, come here. This is the one we saw earlier in this video. Is he going to come? I hope he comes this way. No, he's going the other bloody way. There he goes, look. You can see the beauty of this place at this hour of the morning. And this is late December. This is actually December the 21st. It's wrong to say it's the shortest day of the year because every day is the same length. But we have the shortest daylight hours in the Northern Hemisphere. Here you wouldn't notice it. I think we're about 11 and a half at this time of year, and it's 13 and a half and during the summer solstice. But it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. And I'm sure you'll agree. I'm sure you'll agree that this was a wonderful video. And if you do think that, or if you did think that, make sure if you haven't done so already, click the like button, the share button, subscribe button. Do all those wonderful things. And I'll bring you back another wonderful video very soon. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to have me breakfast.